And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Okay, first graphic here showing a red shaded area, Bristol Bay in the Alaska Peninsula. That's a blizzard warning out for those areas for Friday and Saturday. Expecting winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour with snow. And with those winds, that'll create blowing snow. They'll reduce visibility to less than a quarter mile at times there. Winter weather advisory out there for the eastern Aleutians for winds gusting 40 to 50 miles an hour. Snow and blowing snow there, reducing visibilities to about a half mile at times. And off to the east here for the southeast coast, yellow shaded areas indicate a high wind watch out for those areas for Saturday. Looking for a strong front to approach the coast, and that'll bring the winds up, sustained winds of 20 to 30 miles an hour, but could be gusts over 60 miles an hour here again in these yellow shaded areas here, especially along the central and south coast. And today, winter solstice due to arrive at 6:27 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. Today, the 21st, and shortest day of the year, too. And they'll be about this length for a few days, and it'll be a slow crawl out of the hole there for increasing day length. And from there, going to satellite imagery, we had low pressure here in the Gulf of Alaska, moving northward slowly and weakening here. Not very impressive on the rainfall amounts with this, with the bulk of the moisture off to the east here. And but that did kick winds up out of the north at Seward all day long with a peak wind gust this morning of about 52 miles per hour. And then dry conditions back to the west, some clouds up in the eastern interior areas. And then out to the west here, you can see the front and big cloud shield here with the next storm edging northward, pushing the front up toward the central and eastern Aleutians. See, there it's moving right there, and also the movement off to the northeast. On the chart, there's that front roughly in this position at mid-afternoon today, and that's bringing winds gusting to 50 to 60 miles per hour here from Adak Island eastward toward Nikolsky, with much lighter winds on Alaska Island into the Alaska Peninsula today, as well as the southern Bering Sea. Starting to get a little breezy, though, over the Pribilof Islands this afternoon, east-southeast, maybe gusting to 30 miles an hour there. But pretty much dry conditions, or it was dry today, with some clearing over Bristol Bay and Kodiak Island up into south-central Alaska, with this low bringing some light precipitation into the North Gulf Coast, and even lighter, more scattered amounts in the Copper River Basin. Scattered precipitation and isolated snow showers here in the interior areas. Also back out along this trough axis there through the Bering Strait down to St. Lawrence Island. And this front spreading rain, at least across the Queen Charlotte's into Dixon entrance, and trying to get into the southern southeast coast tonight. That low tracks inland to the south of the area there. So that'll bring some rain into the southern areas and more of a showery condition with this trough to the north there. And the low continues to weaken in the Gulf of Alaska, keeping us chance of some showers there. Cordova eastward to Yakutat, and maybe a little bit of moisture. Be quite light there in the Copper River Basin, and chances of light snow flurries or snow showers here with generally cloudy skies over the central and eastern interior. And still this area of light snow possible here, western Arctic coast, mainly over the Chukchi Sea through the Bering Strait, western Seward Peninsula to St. Lawrence Island. But this big storm here bringing gale and storm force winds into the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula tonight as that low center tracks slowly to the northeast. And then you can see tomorrow quite a gradient here across Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island, and down across the Alaska Peninsula to the eastern Aleutians. And again, a blizzard warning for tomorrow and Saturday here for the Bristol Bay area and the Alaska Peninsula, with again snow and blowing snow, heavy wind and snow all through this area, starting to increase here, especially along the south coast of the Kenai Peninsula, southern Cook Inlet and Kamishak Bay, and into maybe the southern Kuskokwim Valley up to the north. Precipitation and winds a whole lot lighter, with the snow a lot more scattered and lighter, just flurries or light snow showers up over the interior there. Pretty nice though for the mid and upper Tanana Valley, 40-mile country, some clearing expected. Weak trough keeps showers going over the southeast coast. And then that front pushes eastward here, and you can see a lot of lines right across the southeast coast and offshore, so storm and gale force winds with that, and the high wind watch is out for Saturday there for winds possibly gusting over 65 miles an hour in the afternoon. And wind, rain, and snow, or wind and snow, the rain will be right along the south coast of the Kenai Peninsula, maybe into Cordova, but areas up into Prince William Sound, we'll see that fall in the form of snow. And you can see right along this trough, the western part of the state has a good chance of snow all the way down. Conditions improving now over Bristol Bay and the Alaska Peninsula, lighter winds, but still pretty gusty out of the north and northwest, with snow and blowing snow continue to reduce visibilities, but not to the extent that they will earlier in the day Saturday and tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night. Out to the west, pretty benign as far as weather goes. Chance of snow showers across much of the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. A little bit better chance with a weak system out there towards Shemya and Attu. And the lows tonight, north and west of the Alaska Range, well below zero, anywhere from 10 to 20, maybe 25 below. Coldest here over the northwest part of the state up to the North Slope areas. South of the mountains, anywhere from 10 below in the Susitna Valley to 10 above, farther down to the Kenai Peninsula. Lower 20s for the Pribilofs, 30s for the Aleutians, lower 20s Kodiak Island, and 20s and 30s for the Panhandle. Highs for tomorrow in the 30s to lower 40s for the southeast coast, and mostly 10 to 20 here, south of the Alaska Range, north of the mountains there and to the west, staying below zero, especially for the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, mid-20s for the Pribilof Islands, and lower to mid-30s out for the Aleutians, Kodiak Island. And for the lows for Saturday morning, in the teens here, south central Alaska, 28 for Homer, 35 for Kodiak, and right around 5 in the Copper River Basin. But again, anywhere from 10 to 25 below here over the interior. Coldest again for the central western North Slope, down into the Seward Peninsula area and areas of the east side here. Otherwise, much milder there for the southeast coast, upper 20s to lower 30s for the lows in that area. And then that'll be followed by highs in the 20s here for the Alaska Peninsula, 25 to 30, with highs in the upper 20s to lower 30s for south central Alaska. And then warming up here in the Tanana Valley, Fairbanks up to 12 degrees, dropping down towards zero as you get out toward the Bering Strait coast. Actually, the Seward Peninsula staying below zero, as well as St. Lawrence Island. Lower 20s for the highs for the Pribilofs. 25 or upper 20s to, 25 to 30 Alaska Peninsula and the eastern Aleutians.